Look, it's hot, there's a fan blowing on me, and I'm wearing about 6 pounds of polyester hair. We're just gonna go with it because I'm trying not to die, okay? Okay, just pretend I'm in a Beyonce video. Hello, Champagne Dreamers. Welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Miss Jaye. And today I have a tag video for you. I'm very excited about this. This was created by a YouTuber that I really enjoy. Her name is Nisipisa. I was first inspired to do this. I've had this in my notebook for a long time. And the first person that I remember seeing doing it was Lacie from Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. And once I saw her do it, I thought, this is really fun. I want to do this. And then she said that Nisipisa is the one who created it. And I hadn't seen Nisipisa's video yet. And so I went to her channel and watched hers, and it was fabulous. And a few other people have done it. And this is the Makeup Memories tag. I'm super excited about this. I love talking about makeup history. I'm a sad, ratchet old drag queen, and so I've been around beating this mug for a long time. And so I have a lot of history to share, and I just love talking about makeup, and I love talking about some of the products that I've loved and hated over the years, so this is going to be a fun one. I will go ahead and leave the questions in the description box so that if you want to go ahead and do this tag video as well, you will have the questions so you can work on that. And I will include links to both Nisipisa's and Lacie's videos in the description box as well. So this is the Makeup Memories tag. If you're interested in seeing that, go ahead and stick around. We're getting into it right now. The first question is, what is the oldest item in your makeup collection? And I think the oldest item that I still have is from the MAC Playboy 50th anniversary collection. It was a glitter cream, and it had the Playboy bunny logo etched into the cream. And I used that quite a bit, but I was always trying to take from this one little spot that I wouldn't mess up the design because it was so beautiful and it had bunnies on the packaging. I love the Playboy bunny logo. My first tattoo ever was a little chrome bunny design that I got from a tattoo shop up in Winnipeg. And there's something about the Playboy brand, there's something about it that I find very interesting, because I think that in some ways it doesn't get credit for as cultural as it was. Certainly a lot of great fiction authors got their start publishing stories in Playboy. You know, people always joked about how they read it for the articles, and little budding queer boy like me, I actually could read it for the articles because they had really interesting, compelling journalism. They did a really good job with the magazine component of it. And so there was this more classy, sophisticated part, but on the other side, it's still porn, but it's a little bit sort of restrained porn. It wasn't like Hustler or one of those other more kind of dirty mags or whatever. And so that kind of, the tension between sophistication and smut, I've always found really interesting and fun to play with. And so that was my first ever tattoo, was a Playboy bunny. And the oldest piece of makeup in the collection is the Playboy bunny glitter cream from that 50th anniversary collection. Now, I used to have the OG Viva Glam that I bought when there were only 2 shades of Viva Glam, when they still were on Viva Glam 1 and 2. And this was before, so MAC is known for, I think I have one here. MAC is known for their bullet style packaging, and a lot of other brands have also adopted this bullet packaging. My first Viva Glam that I had is from before they did this packaging. They used to have packaging that was a little bit thinner, it was taller, and it was just round, and it was just kind of, it wasn't rounded at all at the top like a bullet. It came up and then was flat, but the flat part had a little bit of a doming to it. And I brought that in for their recycling program one time, and they were like, we didn't even know that MAC made lipsticks like this. And one person was looking at it like maybe they thought it was a knockoff lipstick, and I'm like, no, this is like the OG Viva Glam. That was from like a year or 2 after it had come out. So I have used to be the MAC girl. I loved it. And so that Playboy piece was one that was really special to me. And I think I have the lipstick that came with that collection as well. The next question is the very first item of makeup that you ever purchased. I don't remember exactly, but I do have some sort of milestones in my makeup journey. The first one, as a kid, I remember I was really into theater, and our library had this book that said costumes and disguise. It was for kids, I can't remember exactly, but it was like costumes, makeup, and disguise. And it had these projects for how you could make little costume pieces, It was a little bit outdated because it was talking about milk caps that used to come on milk bottles. We never had a milk bottle in our house. We didn't have anybody who delivered milk or whatever. But they said you could take milk caps and you could put them over coins and you could make medals, like for a military uniform. And they had all this stuff about makeup and stuff. And I got really into it. And I used to check out that book all the time. I was like the only person that had checked it out in forever on the card. When we used to have actual cards that you wrote your name on, mine was the only name on it forever and ever, and it was on there a bunch of times. But I put together a costume box. I started putting together all my old Halloween costumes, old broken jewelry and stuff that my mom and my grandma didn't want anymore, random pieces of clothing that I thought were interesting. And my mom let me go to the Target in Minot, North Dakota, and pick out a couple pieces of makeup. And I think I got like a brown pencil, like some sort of eyeliner pencil. But I got this hooker pink lipstick. It's the color kind of like this, but it was brighter and it was like that hot pink with the blue base. To me, in my mind, that will always be hooker pink. And I don't know what brand it was. It was some drugstore brand that they carried at Target. But Revlon, CoverGirl, who knows? But it was in like a white tube. And it was hooker pink, and I loved it. I don't know what costume I thought I was going to be making with that, but she let me buy it. Now, as an adult, when I first started getting into drag, I didn't have a ton of money, and so I was shopping in the shelves at Walmart. And I loved Max Factor. I was a big Max Factor fan when I was first getting into drag. And some people are going to watch this and not even know what the fuck I'm talking about, because Max Factor is not even available in the US really anymore. I think they tried to relaunch on a couple websites, but I don't know what happened. I've tried to research into it, and the information I found is really sketchy. But Max Factor used to be a really big drugstore brand. And they were actually, when you think about liquid lipsticks, I can't say 100% for sure. I mean, my PhD from the University of Google is not that sure on this, but I'm pretty sure that they were the first company to do a liquid to matte lipstick. They were called Lipfinity, and at the time, they called them demi-permanent lipsticks. And it was a liquid to matte lipstick, and some of them had like a metallic or a shimmer, but they were that paint on, and they dried down. And they dried down so hard that each one came with a balm, and you were supposed to put the balm over top to keep your lips from like bleeding. But I remember the Lipfinity, and I had a blue one that was like a denim blue. It was so beautiful. And I remember that they sold around Halloween time these little booklets for like $3 or $4 that you could get that would show you how to transform yourself into Marilyn Monroe or Rita Hayworth or all of these big Hollywood starlets that were working in the studio system when Max Factor was one of the main makeup artists in Hollywood. So I thought that was really cool. I loved Max Factor. So when I was first getting into drag makeup, a lot of my products were from Max Factor. And I've mentioned this in a video before, but my first piece of high-end makeup was the original MAC Viva Glam. This is the 25th anniversary edition, but this color of lipstick from MAC was the first high-end makeup purchase I ever made. I remember going up to Canada to the Hudson's Bay Company in Winnipeg, and I was obsessed, and I was like, I have to get Viva Glam. And so I went and I picked up a Viva Glam tube, and I had it for years, and it was so good. Question number 3 is, what is your favorite of your makeup eras? And I would have to say, I think now there's a whole lot of reasons why what I'm doing now is my favorite, because number 1, I finally got the courage to like shave off my eyebrows and just go for it. I love doing big drag makeup, and for a while I was trying to squeeze it all underneath my brows, and I have super deep set eyes, and now, you know, my entire 5 head is my canvas, because I just shave off the brows. I've shaved off my hair. Like, if I wanted to, I could do the full-on divine all the way up the head kind of look. And so I love that. I love that I finally embraced that. I love that I have more skills. I've just gotten to know my face better. And so I've gotten better at how to apply things to get the looks that I want. Because sometimes you watch a video and something works really well for that person's face shape and for their skin and for all the different things and their style of application. And I would always get frustrated that I couldn't completely, perfectly recreate it. And so now I feel like I've got more skills working with my own face. I think I've got more disposable income to spend on more makeup, so I have more options. I have so many options. So many options. options. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in options. Like, it's okay. Send help. But I love that I have a lot more products to choose from. Companies are doing really innovative, interesting things. And so you can get different kinds of products to achieve any kind of look or any kind of effect that you want. So I think right now is my favorite of my makeup eras, just because I've been having so much fun. And painting my way through quarantine, this is a stressful time. The fucking world is on fire. I get it. And one thing that's really sort of helped me with my sort of self-care and keeping myself together has just been playing with makeup and just getting in and creating faces and experimenting and playing. And so I love it. And question number 4 is, what was the darkest of your makeup eras? So mine was when I was first starting drag. I'm going to go ahead and insert a couple of pictures from my very early drag days. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I've come a long way, baby. Me and Virginia Slim. Is just because at that time there was no YouTube. YouTube did not exist. There were not a lot of great websites. It was hard enough to even find shopping websites, let alone makeup tip websites. They were really hard to find. It was hard to find pictures of drag queens. And so I was just sort of buying makeup and playing. And we used to make fun of girls, and I don't remember where I heard this term from, but then at first I laughed, and then I realized that it also applied to me, and it was called garage doors. And anytime you had a queen that took one color and put it from lash line to brow, and we called them garage doors because it just looked like 2 big garage doors, like of one color. And I have done that before. I've certainly taken a blue eyeshadow and like colored in my whole, I maybe put a little like right under the brow, I'd put a little white or something, but oh god. So when I was first starting, I just didn't have anybody to kind of guide me, and I was just kind of fumbling around in the dark, and I didn't have a lot of good sort of resources, because a lot of the classic icons that I loved, like, you know, Betty Davis, all of her pictures were in fucking black and white, so who knew what she was wearing? Marilyn Monroe went for like the mascara and red lips look, like, you can't do that as a drag queen. Like, it just doesn't work. So there weren't a lot of great places. Or there was Divine, who was like eyebrows shaved off all the way up onto the 5 head. Like, if I had known then what I know now, I would have dove in and just gone for it. But I didn't know, so I was just kind of playing around and going in blind. So that was probably the darkest. I had a lot of fun, and I looked real busted, but I had fun with it. The next question is, what is your best makeup-related memory? And this is from when I was a kid, because my parents got divorced when I was really young. I only ever remember just living with my mom. I don't remember any of the times when we lived with my dad. And he was really kind of distant. He had some issues. He definitely has some mental problems, has some alcohol issues. And he just was sort of kind of absent for most of my childhood. And I remember every once in a while he would come get us, and my grandparents on my dad's side lived in Williston, which is about 90 miles away. And even though they were so close, we never saw them. Like, they just never made an effort or whatever. So we would have to drive over there. Or he was still, I think, living in Wyoming at that time. That's where we had lived when I was born. And he would come up and pick us up, and we would go visit at my grandparents' house for like a week and then come back. And it was one of those trips, and on the way we stopped in Kenmare, which is a little town nearby Bowbells, where I'm from. And we stopped at the Ben Franklin store, which was kind of a craft store, but they had some toys and little extra things. And so my dad told my brother and I that we could each get whatever we wanted, just go pick something out or whatever. And he might have given us $1 amount or whatever. But my brother picked out a G.I. Joe figure or whatever. And I was just looking around, and I found this little makeup set. And it was a little just cheap plastic crap. But it had those little fingernails, the little stick-on fingernails, if anybody's seen those. They're like hard plastic, but they've got the red pointy fingernails, and you could stick them onto the ends of your fingers, and it looked like you had long red claw nails. It had a little bottle of perfume, and it had a couple little lipsticks and a little eyeshadow powder. It was just like a little makeup kit or whatever. And I just remember, and I don't know why I remember this so clearly, just it clearly affected my little budding queer heart. And I remember that I just brought it up, and he did not make a face. He did not say anything. He didn't make any sort of comment. He just was like, okay, you're going to get the G.I. Joe, you're going to get the makeup kit, put it on the counter, paid for it, did not say a word. There was no judgment. We went to visit. We were fishing. We went fishing with his friend George, and I brought the little lipsticks out on the boat with me and was kind of playing with them because I was not into fishing. And so there was just no judgment there. Now, trust me, there are therapists that have tried for years to help me untangle this whole web of things with my father, but that was just, in a sea of really conflicted feelings about him, that was one of those kind of brighter moments where I really felt like that was a time where he just let me be whatever I was going to be. And I don't know if he just felt like he was not enough of a parent that it was even his place to say anything or try to correct. I am trying to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he just decided to go without any judgment, but who knows. But that is a really kind of nice makeup memory for me. And then the next question, what is your worst makeup related memory? I know I look busted. I know I look a little bit ratchet, but this takes a bit of time. This takes some time. One time I was running late. Things were a little crazy. It was an all-ages show, and I had to get ready in 30 minutes. And I did a face in 32 minutes. It was so bad. It was so bad. I was so busted. And things just were not working, and eventually I just took this like liquid silver shadow and I just covered over everything, including my brows. I hadn't even glued down my brows. This is before I started shaving, and I just was like trying to work in here, and I eventually just went over them, and then I did a thing that went under thinking it would look like a butterfly, and it just looked like somebody had shit silver all over my face. It was so bad. And I sprinkled some glitter on it. Ancient drag queen secret, if you fuck it up, put glitter on it. Even that couldn't help it. Even that, it was so bad. It was just like silver, like I had mercury poisoning or something. And there was like patches of glitter, but it wasn't even. And then big red lips. Big red dick sucking lips. I love to subscribe to my DSL. And so it was just horrendous. It was so terrible. I still have nightmares. I have a recurring dream. Like, the details of where I'm at or who I'm performing with is always different. But the nightmare is always that I, like, show up to a bar with my little makeup case, and they're telling me, oh, the show is starting now. And I'm like, oh, I can get ready. It's fine. And I'm in the back, and they're trying to hurry me along, and I'm trying to put... That's a nightmare that I still have to this day. And so I start getting ready for shows stupid early because of that, because I still am traumatized by that night with the butterfly silver bukkake shit. It was terrible. Question number 7 is, what is your old flame product? So a product that you used to hardcore covet. Urban Decay lipsticks. Urban Decay lipsticks. So the Urban Decay Vice lipsticks still have a similar sort of feel, but I remember when you used to have to go to a head shop to buy Urban Decay. So I used to go to Discontent, which was a CD store and head shop. Remember CDs, kids? No, you don't. And so you would go and you would search through the music, or they had cases where behind a little curtain, if you knew the right words that you didn't get kicked out, you could go buy a bong or a one-hitter or whatever. But they also had Manic Panic hair dye, and they had Urban Decay cosmetics. And the bullets were like this, but they looked like bullet casings, and the end was sort of molded to look like the end of like a shotgun shell. They were so great, and the pigmentation was amazing. And I had 3 shades in particular that I was obsessed with. And one of them was Gash, which was this like metallic maroon red. It was so 90s. It was, when I think of 90s, I think of colors that are not quite jewel tones. They're like more grungy, a little bit more muted down. And so they're like the typical primary colors that are then made dirty and grungy. So like instead of red, you had like cranberry. Instead of yellow, you had mustard. Instead of green, you had olive. Like those kinds of things. And Gash was like the perfect metallic cranberry red. Oh, it was so good. And then they had Uzi, which was a silver glitter. And normally when you got a silver glitter lipstick, and I haven't seen a lot of glitter lipsticks for a while. And the problem was it was always just like glitter particles in this like weird waxy substance, but there was never enough glitter. So then you just had it just looked like you had rubbed like candle wax with glitter in it on your lips. It was terrible. Uzi was like silver glitter, but it was perfection. I don't know how they mixed it. It was devil magic. It was so good. And then my favorite I still am sad about this lipstick that I cannot get it because they do not have a version of it. And I don't believe, I have quite a few of the Vice lipsticks now, but they're not the same. But it was the shade Burnout. It was so beautiful. It was like Orgasm by NARS in a lipstick. It was like that pinky leaning towards coral with this beautiful, beautiful yellow gold color. Not a brassy gold, not an aggressive gold, like that yellow candlelight sort of gold in this pinky coral lipstick. It was beautiful. It was perfection. Chef's kiss, as the kids say. It was so, so good. And I kept that, and somewhere I still have the tube. I finally, like, it's dug out. Like, I dug it out into the bottom, trying to use as much as I could. And it smelled like straight up clay. Like, it got so old, it just smelled like clay. And somewhere I still have that bullet because I love it. And I would love for them to bring that back. Because they did, like, this is from a collection where they brought back some of their OG shades. This was like a revival kind of thing for an anniversary or something. This is the shade UVB, I think. Yeah, UVB. And so this is a beautiful blue, but Burnout. I love it. I want it. Urban Decay, get yourself together. Stop doing all that nude bullshit. Bring back Burnout lipstick. Now. And the last question is, if you could go back in time and tell your younger self something about makeup, what would you say? I would say, don't listen to that bitchy queen. Have fun. There was this queen, again, I didn't really have like a drag mother, but there was another kind of bitchy queen around who had all these things about this is how you should do it, this is how you shouldn't do it, and just was really judgy about what people did. And I think that stifled my creativity for a long time. And so I would say, just don't listen to that bitch. Like, if that's how she does her makeup, that's fine. She looks great. She looked fine. Maybe more fine than great. I just would say, learn your face. Like, have fun. Learn your face. Stop trying to just copy looks of what other people are doing. Like, that's a good place to start, but learn how to translate it onto your face. So if you want to create that sort of look, how do you do that on your face with your curves, your planes, your flat surfaces, your dome surfaces, all that kind of stuff. And shave your goddamn brows earlier. Get rid of them. You wear big chunky glasses. There's no reason for you to have eyebrows. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody even notices that you don't have brows. So, like, get that real estate. You got nothing down here. Like, get rid of those brows. Get them out of here. You should have been doing that about 5 years earlier. So that's what I would say. I would say, don't listen to that bitchy queen. Shave your brows. Learn your face. And have fun. Have fun. I would stress myself out about how I looked and all this kind of stuff. Just have fun. Be busted. That's fine. So what? It's makeup. It washes off. You put it on again. Alright, so that is the Makeup Memories tag created by Nisipisa. What did you think? What are your favorite memories? What are your products that send you down the makeup memory lane? What are some things that you just really loved? Maybe some of your dark eras. Let's talk about that. I think there's nothing wrong with talking about the times where we were a little bit busted, a little bit ratchet. You gotta learn and you gotta grow. I mean, if you just pick up a brush and you're immediately good at makeup, I think your makeup is going to be kind of boring. Like, I think the people who have the most interesting, unique, artistic makeup are the people who had to struggle through it and figure out their style and figure out their face. So I am here for it. So let's talk about our dark days. Let's talk about our successes, our celebrations, and let me know in the comments below some of your favorite products, what some of your answers are to these questions. If you would like to do this as well, I would love for you to tag me in it because I would love to watch it as well. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up on your way out. I would really appreciate it. It really does help, and it's free. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can get notified of all future uploads. If you want to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, all of my social media will be listed in the description box. And don't forget to visit my website, The World of Champagne, at janessajay.com for more great makeup and lifestyle content. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. And until I see you again, bye.
Oh, I just want to let you know on this one you're framed a little bit more so you see a lot of the cant and just the very top overlaid.
It's not about the shirt.
I know it's not about the shirt, but I'm saying
About the titties.
it worked out. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. Thank you for narrating your journey.
I'm letting you know how you framed up, you bitch. God damn it.
Thank you.
It's recording, so go whatever the fuck you want. God.
I would, but someone's in the background talking.
Do you want a pickle? Do you want a pickle?
Sure, I'll take a pickle.
Do you know what you're going to say?
I forgot my intro. Okay. So I have a lot of history to share, and I'll try not to bite my tongue again. So this is the Makeup Memories tag. I'm going to go ahead and... So this is the Makeup Memories tag. We're going to go ahead and...
It is flashing, so if you have short little thingies, do those.
Yeah,
And then
I'm just trying to do the intro.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting
Stop
you know.
moving.
I'm going to smear that lipstick.
So this is the Makeup Memories tag. We're going to get into it right now.
I thought you had more than just that little bit.
It was just that. I was trying to do the, like, we're going to get into it right now.
I'm going to sit.
Okay.
I'm sitting.
And don't be surprised if things move around. Sometimes we have no continuity in these videos. We'll put that in somewhere.
Knee slapper.
Knee slapper.